In my opinion, episode 4. This one certainly opens up a door. Mirror to my left to help me reflect upon these points I'm about to make. The Fat Doctor. The Fat Doctor. The Fat Doctor. Yeah, what's she been saying? So those of you who watched this morning, or those of you who don't, or those of you who are on the internet and might have seen this video, will know that the Fat Doctor came onto the channel on This Morning a couple of days ago and stated thoroughly that being overweight isn't unhealthy. As a matter of fact, losing weight's unhealthy. Very vague. And that children should have overweight or obese, she said obese, role models. So let's break this down. So the first point where she actually says about being overweight and how it's not unhealthy. There's an argument there, isn't there? Turn my phone off, it's important. So she talks about those who end up going on these weight loss diets and they end up putting the weight back on. So there's no point following these weight loss diets. Now, there isn't a little bit of an ounce of truth inside that. For the majority of human beings, and this is why balanced diets are more important than these weight loss fads, like keto diet or slim fast diets, for the majority of human beings, we fluctuate. I'd say actually every human being fluctuates in body weight from time to time. I know I certainly do. Is being overweight unhealthy? Well, if you look at it from the BMI, the body mass index data, that is essentially talking about height and weight, then no. So if someone is 5'5" but weighs 100 kilo, they'll be considered obese, according to their numbers the BMI is conjured up. So in that respect, yeah, she's right. It was a vague statement. But if someone is above 40% body fat, they have a more chance or a higher risk of having a cardiac arrest or a stroke, in contrast to someone who has 20% body fat, depending on lifestyle factors. And also, she's not talking about visceral fat, the fat that you get contained in your internal organs. That has a huge factor. So she's very vague with that statement. The statement she made before that, talking about children and how they should have more obese role models. There's an argument for two there, but my argument is diversity, it works. You know, if you want to have an obese character, someone to look up to, perfect. You got Humpty Dumpty, let's have more. We're becoming a society that sugarcoats things. We're becoming a society that sugarcoats being unhealthy because we don't want to upset anybody. Offending someone with a statement saying that they're obese and they're overweight and pointing out their quality of life is not as good as what it could be if they lost some weight, but through that, they might look to change their lives, to improve their lives, in contrast to if you're actually just praising them for being overweight or even just being overly nice about the actual situation at hand. Some people need to be told, not everybody, but some people do need to be told. She then brings in mental health. Here's an example of physical health and mental health in terms of a quality of life. Here in this screen here, you can see I'm 97 kilograms. I'm approximately 30% body fat there, probably a little bit less. I contain a lot of body fat in my backside. Kim K's got nothing on me. Overeating, over drinking, chain smoking. 3 things that I did there in that photo when I was that person. Okay. Change over to the other side, comedy ones. Change over to the other side. I'm about 74.9 kilos there to be exact. Very precise. Good with math sometimes when it matters. I can move better. I can do things a lot better, and I'm less exhausted throughout the day. That person here walked up 2 flights of stairs and was shattered. That person here used to conduct spin classes on a weekly basis, sometimes twice a week, and was perfectly fine. That person there didn't sleep as much. That person there slept a lot better. That person there sometimes would struggle to breathe at night. That person there, perfect, feels great. The only thing I would say about this photo is I was a little bit underweight, as was proved when I came back off my holiday after an all-inclusive and gained back about 3 kilos, because I was probably sitting a little bit below body weight that I normally naturally sit at. I had a lot more perks to being that than I did that. So why are we sugarcoating it? Why are we sugarcoating ruining people's quality of life? Because that's essentially what we're doing. If a kid is overweight, there's a high chance he'll have joint problems, he'll have back problems, he might struggle to breathe. In this day and age we live in with COVID, if you are obese, you're at more higher risk from suffering from COVID and have more further health implications, having caught COVID and recovering from it, especially in comparison to someone who is physically able, physically fit and weighs less. The mental health side of things. Now, I'm not saying that if you are obese, you're automatically not going to be happy. That's not how it works, of course not. But if you don't feel great in yourself, and let's say weight or being obese is a determining factor, then you need to change that. And having people like that in the profession that she's in, telling you that it's okay, that's fine. But at the same token, the way I'd argue with it is that yes, albeit it's okay what she's saying, accept yourself for who you are, that's great. Diversity, all that jazz. Don't know why I put my other hand up, getting carried away and all that. But the problem is, she's not actually highlighting the health implications that come along with being obese. She's just saying it's acceptable to be obese. She states all these bold statements. It doesn't matter how high you are on the BMI scale in terms of health implications. Well, yes, anyone who's done their research or even just read a little paragraph will know for a fact that BMI is a load of raucous, as we've previously discussed. The problem is she says all these vague statements, but she doesn't actually have any conclusive evidence. She just states all these things. And then she goes on to, and this is exactly what I have a massive problem with social media with, she then goes on to promote her website, promote her Instagram page, and so forth. She's saying these bold statements because she knows it's going to get a reaction from people. People like myself. Running out of ideas, you see. This could have a severe catastrophic effect on the NHS. The NHS, as we know, are being strained at the moment with regards to the COVID patients we have. We've already discussed that obese people could be more susceptible to suffering long-term damage from COVID. And even beyond all that, the health implications of being obese, type 2 diabetes, strokes, cardiac arrests, and so forth. The list goes on. The more patients we have in the NHS, the more strain. So why are we not promoting health? Why has it now become a big thing about almost fit shaming people and then telling people who are not looking after themselves that they're doing a great job? I'm not saying we should fat shame people. I'm just saying that we shouldn't promote being obese as a positive thing, because it's not a positive thing. It's a health implication. It's something that can cause further health problems. So that's all I'm saying. Thank you very much for listening, guys. I hope to see you in the next one. God bless and peace.